Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to the We Stomped You Out show, presented by Cine Sports Talk. I am Steve. As always, got Keith to my left.
I, too, am always Keith.
He is always Keith. And down below here, I got Timmy Tabala representing with the really nice. That's the face all of us Giants fans make this year. They drive us crazy. With the I love that sweatshirt. Really,
Cool,
that's one of the things that I missed down here in South Florida is that, I used to love wearing those sweatshirts, sports sweatshirts. So I break them out when it's in the 50s here, whereas up there I would have break them out when it gets a little chillier. But 50s is as bad as it gets down here. So next week it's gonna be the 40s, actually, right, Keith?
Yep.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be a cold front next week. Our Florida.
What are you guys gonna do? Go get all the bread and milk.
Florida man. All right, so as I do my thing here, let's go ahead and I'll send it to Keith. Keith always has some interesting nuggets of information as we get this shared out.
Interesting or weird? I don't know. But what's up, Giant fans? Got my Tim over here. If you're looking at the screen, I think he's to my that way. He's to my that way. What's up, Timmy?
So what up, brother? How are you?
For Evas, me and Farachi and Tim are also good friends. A lot of Giant things going on, but not so much. Right now it's playoff time. We hired a new defensive coach. We stole him from the Jets. I'm not sure how you feel about that, Tim. He was the head of a 27th in the league defense, something to that effect. But with that said, he was a successful coach, in my opinion, because he was stripped of all his talent. So the Giants do have a new coach. I don't know his name off the top of my head, so I'm extremely guilty because I didn't do my homework. But
I forgot already too. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, but I am confident in the decision. I do like the fact that Patrick Graham. There you go. I do like the fact that we pulled this guy in, and I'll be completely honest. Like I was saying first, he was dealing with a lot of no talent, and he pretty successful. I mean, if you watch Dolphin games, I'm from South Florida. I'm from Queens, New York, born and raised, forever in my heart. I live in South Florida. Let me correct that. And I get to watch a lot of Dolphins games. And I don't have anything against the Dolphins. So I've watched them progress between Flores as the head coach and this guy as the defensive coach. I don't have much issue with him. I think it was a good pickup. I don't know. Are you indifferent at this point? Is it like a prove it, show me?
I don't know anything about him, to be honest with you. But like you said, he was stripped of all his talent, and he still put up good numbers. They put up good wins. They still played real hard. Yep. So, I mean, that can't be a bad thing.
Right. I agree. So, and based off of the press conference, Joe Judge, look at Ferrati right above me. To my that way. So adorable when you're that way. Based off the press conference, Joe Judge, he's looking for teachers. And if you haven't seen the Joe Judge press conference, you can look at the We Stomped You Out page. We have the conference up there. If not, you can go onto the Giants page. The press conference is there as well. I suggest you check it out if you have not already. And if you haven't checked it out, what kind of Giant fan are you anyway? The guy, he took some really good stuff. So based off of the press conference, I say the criteria he set on the
Can I cut you off real quick?
I think I will trust this hire. But go ahead, cut me off.
I just want to hit the music.
Hit the music.
And then dive into all this Giants goodness. Here we go.
We stomp you out.
God, that Brooklyn Water coffee smells phenomenal.
You out was brought to you by Brooklyn Water Coffee Roasters. from their roaster to your front door, guaranteed to ship to you within 24 hours of its roasting.
Oh, you're stopping there. Well, we'll save the full read for later. If you're just joining us again, I am Steve. Got Keith over here to my left, and Timmy Tabala right down there. As we bring you more Giants goodness, badness, whatever floats your boat these days. Not much in the way of Giants news since the last time that we met, but we'll talk about their new defensive coordinator, and then we'll get into some football from last week, and then we'll talk about some picks for this coming weekend, Championship Sunday. The Giants, this is the breaking news. The Giants just hired the Clapper.
Did they?
Wow, did we just break news?
It's Mikey D.
Mikey D.
Domino.
Hey. Oh, I love watching that. There's a YouTube video with all the O's in Sopranos throughout the year. Just now, they hired Garrett. Look at Mikey D. Breaking news on the show. We can't break news, but our fans can. Just going on real quick. To see what I can find out on Twitter. I'm actually good with that hire. I don't know if you guys are, but I talked about it with you guys a little bit earlier this week. So I guess we can get our on-air reactions. I know, Keith, this is your favorite coach in all of football. So what do you think about him being the new offensive coordinator?
I don't have an issue with it, and I shared this with you privately offline that and my exact words to you were Jason Garrett, OC, thumbs up. I'm okay with that. He's a great OC. He knows how to handle an offense really well. He's proven that. As a head coach, he's a clapper. Problem is he doesn't do a lot of clapping on. He does a lot of clapping off. But he does know how to handle an offense really well. He does have a ton of experience. Most of experience at this point in his career is from a head coach capacity. So if you're taking somebody who has a tremendous head coach experience, put him in an OC capacity, which he's good at, I'm all for it. I mean, I don't see where you can go wrong. And I love the fact that if this works out, it's a big, and I'm not going to show you the finger that I'm putting up, but just to let you know it's the middle one, to the Dallas Cowboys. And any of this finger we can put up to the Cowboys is amazing.
I agree.
Amazing. Garrett was a part of our organization, so he is pre-Giant. He's a Giant before a Cowboy, so I don't have much issue with that. Like, if we hired Jimmy Johnson, I might have issue with that, because Jimmy Johnson is a straight-up cow slut. But Garrett was a Giant before he was a Cowboy. He's coming back home. I'm
coming home.
I'm on my way. Oh, sweet. And he's going to, and I would imagine, I would have to think, to some respect, I mean, I know he loved Jerry Jones and the Cowboys organization, but I have to think, to some respect, he's going to be looking to get a little bit of revenge against his old team, Dallas Cowboys. And what better way to do that than the New York Giants? Because nobody can get under the skin like we can. So that's my 2 cents plus another 45 cents.
Very true. So we're all good with it. Mikey D, let us know what you're thinking as far as why you're kind of pissed. He says he's kind of pissed that they just hired Garrett, but let us know why. And then for everybody else that's watching right now, if you're watching on Facebook, Keith was supposed to tell you about this earlier, but he didn't. He forgot. If you're watching on Facebook, go ahead and click the link that's at the top of the description. It says StreamYard, and then that's where you go to authorize the app so that we can see who is saying what. So we'll be able to see what is being said, but it'll just say Facebook user. And don't be a coward and hide behind that.
Come on, the Domino can't be the only one who knows how to use this thing.
Hey, right? Hey, Domino.
No, I'm 70-30 happy. I won't say I'm completely happy, but I am 70-30 happy. And like you said, he's gonna want to beat the Cowboys. He's gonna want to beat them and beat them so bad. And yes, he was a Giant before he was a Cowboy, so it's kind of a homecoming. And like you say, he's a good offensive coordinator. He's not a good head coach. So, yeah, 70-30 happy. 30 is like, okay, well, he is the clapper still. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah. So, all right. So we got our coach, we got our offensive coordinator, we got our defensive coordinator. We're starting to look like a football team with a staff.
Who's more qualified than Jason Garrett to really run an offense?
No, true. He's going to have a ball with a young quarterback and a young running back, and revamp that offensive line. He's going to have a ball with that.
It's a big signing. This is not a questionable signing. This is a big signing, Jason Garrett. And I understand a lot of Giant fans inhibitions because he's a Cowboy, but this is a big signing. This is a guy who knows what he's doing. And whether we feel negative about him or not, he did a decent job with the Cowboys through all these years, considering he had to deal with Jerry Jones and all the other drama that goes along with being a Cowboy coach. He did a decent job. So he took a step down. He's got less responsibility, and he's going to be the OC. And he's got some weapons to work with.
Yeah.
He's got some weapons to work with.
He instantly upgrades the running back.
Talent, but he's doing okay.
And he was pretty creative with that playbook. He wasn't stale. So hopefully it translates to the Giants offense.
Right, because it doesn't look like Judge is looking to run a stale offense or defense. It's looking like he's the type of guy who wants to switch up certain things. Like one game you're going to get 15 pass attempts, the next game could be 40. So you're going to have to plan for both. But just some reactions on Twitter now, talking about Jason Garrett. Gives Judge the experience next to him, and he's been a very solid offensive coordinator. Yes, a very good hire for the Giants. Garrett is a good coach, and will possibly be a head coach again someday soon. It was just time to move on from Dallas. Good hire. So mostly positives. I'm looking for that one negative just so that I'm not being a homer. It's just a lot of people reporting it, Adam Schefter and all this stuff.
How much negative can you really pull out of?
Fans. Fans.
You do, but let's look at it from a logical standpoint, right? As a head coach, do you consider him a failure on your Giantness aside?
Well, Giants was hated just because he was a Cowboy, but forget he was a Giant first.
So, you're an NFL guy, you have no allegiance to the Giants, which is hard to do for me personally. But Jason Garrett, as a head coach, do you consider him a failure, or do you consider him as a good coach who didn't quite get there?
Yeah, good coach who didn't quite get there. I think I think he's going to be a much better offensive coordinator, though.
I agree. And Faraci, I don't know if Tim, maybe it was in our So, folks out there who's listening, we have through the week we chat, which is kind of like our preparation for the show, is that we stomp you out page or chat that we have amongst Rodriguez, Tim, Faraci, and myself. And I think we mentioned that. I said Jason Garrett is OC, or you may have said it, Faraci or Tim, and we were all like, but here's the thing, Judge, this guy's OC. Who knows? It all sounds great. It really does sound great. And it sounds very promising, but who knows?
And if I'm not mistaken, Judge did say he's not calling offensive plays. And he's not calling defensive plays.
Nope.
And their coordinators doing their job. So I like the sound of that too.
So I'm finding some negatives here. I knew it wouldn't take me that long. But these are comments from uneducated fans. In my opinion, I don't understand how any Giants fan is okay with this. He had a roster of gold and choked year after year. By the third missed field goal by the Giants, he claps after. They'll be over him. See,
as a head coach.
Exactly. You can pinpoint who the casuals are by the initial response of us signing Garrett. that's pretty smart there, because the casual fans won't know that he has been a good offensive coordinator and can be a good offensive coordinator again. Let's see what else. Perfect timing, good hire. And then somebody said, this is karma for all you Giants fans. So that's a negative from a fan of a different team. This is a great hire and a wise move by a young head coach. Giants are a trash organization. Everything about the Giants, and then a poop emoji.
Must be Eagle fan.
Yeah. All right. So that's the kind of social media stuff. Mikey D says, I agree with you guys that he's going to obviously really want to beat the Cowboys. I don't know. I just have a bad taste in my mouth about this. We will see what happens. I hope this works out. Judge definitely has me fired up, though. And with that, Mikey D is going to head out for the evening, and he'll catch us later on the replay.
Take care, brother.
On the old DVR. All right. So you guys were talking a little bit right before I came back from sharing everything about Patrick Graham for the Dolphins, and there again, there were a ton of there were just a ton of fans on Twitter, social media saying, do we hire the Dolphins defense coordinator? What did he do there? He gave up point after point. He had nobody, just to Tim's point. But I got a lot of feedback from Dolphin fans down here, and they're pretty upset that he's not there anymore. So that's a good indication. Like you said, Tim, 100% agree. They were in, except for the first couple of games, they were in every single game. He got the buy-in from everybody on defense. So I'm actually happy with that. I'm pretty satisfied with the Giants coaching staff right now.
So am I. I'm very happy. Very, very happy. It's coming together nicely.
Yes. And I meant to comment on this before. Keith, you did a really good job on the open when you said it's not much to talk about with the Giants. It's playoff time.
Sure. Well, this particular news was something to talk about.
Yeah.
So, right. But as you said, prior to when we were prepping for the show, my take was, hey, Giants, good luck. I hope we do good. What's going on in the playoffs? That was pretty much how I thought the show was going to go. In true fashion of Giants, New York sports in general, we start the show and boom, Jason Garrett, the clapper, is our OC.
Look at that. The first time of breaking news on this illustrious show.
I think for every touchdown now, we should say the clap on. The clapper.
The Giants, though, you know what? They should get together as a group and do a group celebration. Barkley scores a touchdown and everybody just stands in a line.
Just claps.
Wow.
All right, let's we'll touch on a few more Giants thing throughout, but I want to talk about the playoffs. A lot of people are tuning in through Cinesports Talk, and there may not be necessarily Giants fans, but we should talk about the playoffs because we're jealous that we're not there. All right, so last week we had the 49ers beating the Vikings. We had the Titans in another upset beat the beat the Ravens. They held the Ravens to 12 points, even though they racked up a ridiculous amount of yards. So it was a lot of bend, don't break, and then they put the whooping. Dolphin fans, Ryan Tannehill,
don't use that term, bend, don't break. Betcher.
All right, and then so that was Saturday. So the 49ers and Titans came out of those two games, and then on Sunday, I'm a degenerate gambler, and I was deciding on whether or not to put money on the Chiefs. So I decided not to put money on the Chiefs winning the game, and I just put it on the over on the points total. And I would have been screaming and cursing if I had put money on the Chiefs and they were down 24-0. And memes were going out. I posted stuff that way too soon, and the Chiefs went insane, went on a 51-7 run after that. And the spread, I bet the over and the target to hit was 51. No, the Chiefs scored that on their own. What was that?
You can't bet against both Mahomes.
No. You shouldn't. And then the Packers were up big, 28-3, and the Seahawks were coming to charge right back in, and they fell just a little bit short. So it is Aaron Rodgers and the Packers.
Interesting, right? Because 49ers are so dominant, but if there's one team that can surprise them, it's the Packers.
Yeah. So I put out the, it's a random top 5 list of the most impactful players left in the playoffs, and I had Derrick Henry at 1, Patrick Mahomes at 2, Patrick Mahomes at 2, Aaron Jones at 3. I had Aaron Rodgers at 4, and then I had the tight end for the Chiefs, and I am blank right now. Travis Kelce at number 5. So I have
second. I'd have him first.
Who?
Mahomes.
Derrick Henry has done. He's got 3 straight games of 180 yards. He's just like dominant, and that's why I put him at 1. He's 1A, 1B. I left George Kittle off. I didn't have any 49ers in that top 5, and I believe that based on that, the 49ers are the favorite, because the 49ers to me are the most complete team.
Very
defense,
complete,
offense, very solid receivers, great tight end. I just don't think that they've been throwing enough for Kittle to be on that list. Good running back. So it's like that team that's very solid but don't have massive superstars. So that's where my head was at with that. So all that being said, we have 2 big games on Sunday to decide who is going to the Super Bowl. So let's talk through that real quick. First up, we have the Tennessee Titans. That's the 3:05 game. Tennessee Titans are going to be playing the Kansas City Chiefs, and the temperature is going to be right around 25 degrees at game time. So, Keith, you just said don't ever bet against Mahomes, so I'm assuming you're going with the Kansas City Chiefs.
I did. I picked the Kansas City Chiefs, and I'll be honest with you, it's really a tough one. It wasn't something that I thought that this is exactly what I'm going with. The deciding factor to me in this whole situation was Mahomes. I think, especially based off last week's performance, where he was down 14-0, and he just said, "Oh yeah, well screw you," and just threw like freaking ridiculous, unhumanly amount of touchdowns and took over the game. To me, I know it's a team effort, but Mahomes took that game over last week. That made me say that the Chiefs are going to win this week. Otherwise, I'd go with the Titans because their defense and team schemes and planning has been stupendous. I just don't think they're going to be able to overcome the Mahomes factor because he thinks quick, he thinks in the pocket, he makes adjustments, and he has some good coaching behind him too, as we know, because we've dealt with his coach for many years in the NFC East. So.
Yeah. All right. So you got the Chiefs, Timmy Tabala. This has been the team that has screwed you over time and time again. So talk to everybody about this game.
Well, let me show you. Let me show you guys set up. It was going to flip. Look, there it is. Look, there it is.
Oh, look at that.
Right, my little guys.
Hold on. You want something?
Boom.
Man, throw garbage out. Look at that. He's taking.
No, look at that. He's just like shoving it along.
Yeah, if you go back to the beginning of the year, I picked the Saints. I thought the Saints will get their revenge, and I picked the Chiefs. So I'm still sticking with the Chiefs. They were freaking scary in that second quarter, man. They were scary, but I think Bill O'Brien made a lot of really dumb mistakes.
Stupid.
The fake punt was one of the worst things I've ever seen in my life.
We talked about that as it happened.
How do you sense that momentum? And you go, I'm going to try a fake punt. How do you do that? Especially after they scored, 2 straight touchdowns like it was nothing. Like they're playing against little kids.
Yep.
So yeah, I don't see the Chiefs losing this game at all. Even with my jinx going on, I'm taking the Chiefs all the way.
All right. So I had a couple thoughts this afternoon. I was thinking about this game, and I think that it's going to wind up either being the Titans win by a small amount or the Chiefs just blow them out. So I decided, in my infinite wisdom, to go with the New York Mets. Thank you, Keith. to go with the Tennessee Titans.
What?
I cannot jump off this train. I've been riding it for weeks. Here's what I think is going to happen. I think it's going to be a lot of Derrick Henry early, often, and I don't think the Chiefs' defense is strong enough to stop the run game. And if that works out, which is what I think is going to happen, they can control the clock. Tannehill can make the 2 or 3 plays that he needs to, and I don't think that taking nothing away from the Chiefs' offense, I don't think that they can do to the Titans or near what they did to the Texans.
So even though I picked the Chiefs, can I kind of give a little supporting feeling behind what you just said? So to me, my bay and your beard, it's just
Timmy's got my idea. There you go.
Being the Titans have had such amazing game planning. Their coaching schemes, in-game adjustments has been superb. They have been able to figure out the opposing team, and they have been able to pick them apart. And if they're not winning the first half, they definitely come back in the second half and dominate. Their coaching on the Titans is superb. It's so impressive, but they're going against the Chiefs, who not only also have really good coaching, but they have really good on-field generals, and that's why I picked the Chiefs. But picking the Titans isn't necessarily a deadbeat pick. It's not like, what are you, nuts? They have such superb game planning and coaching. I just think
Tarachi's just riding my jinx. He's riding my jinx. That's it.
Yeah. I think the Chiefs have similar coaching, and I think the Chiefs have better on-field generals. That's why I picked the Chiefs. But it's really kind of a pick-em game if you think about it. Like, if you told me to put money on it, I probably would tell you, screw you. Let's talk about the NFC.
What is the spread on that one? You know the spread on that one?
Yeah, the spread is 7.5.
Really? That much?
Well, touchdown. And then some.
Well, I guess after they put up 51 points in 3 quarters, I guess you can't really bitch about that spread.
Let me
scary. 51 points in 3 quarters. Not even the 4th quarter. 3 quarters.
A lot.
Sorry, it's 7. So either the line moved or I misremembered. So I'm gonna put money on the Titans this week.
Well, these games, AFC, NFC, are really tough games to pick. You can make a good argument for either team.
Yeah, the other thing is, and I'd be happy for him if he wins, but now that he's with the Chiefs, but it's also the Andy Reid factor. The guy hasn't necessarily had the best records in big games. So, and I didn't use that as part of it because that's a little crazy. But Titans, baby, Titans. It's been the year of the Titans. Upset, this and that. Yeah. So, and then so the Packers head to the 49ers. This one is 7.5 point spread. This is 7.5 points spread, and it's the 49ers that have that are the favorites. So Keith Larris, Lord Keithred Hayes, what you got to say about this?
First of all, I would just like to say, since I'm Lord Keithred Hayes,
First of all, brother, first thing I got to tell you.
Rude. by Fabergé. And I think people, old wrestling fans, will understand that. If not, too damn bad. This is also a hard pick because, to me, the easy pick is the 49ers. So if you put my back against the wall and said you need to put $20 down and pick a team now, it would be the 49ers because I'm a cheap ass and $20 is a lot to me. But taking all those things outside of money into consideration, I picked the Packers. That's my team. That's what I'm going with. The reason why I picked the Packers is experience. I think Aaron Rodgers, he's not quite the Aaron Rodgers he was 5 years ago, but I think his experience is going to play a little bit of a factor in this situation. Not that the 49ers don't have experience, but the Packers kind of been there, done that. And I also think that Rodgers may be a little bit hungry. And I think hunger in these type of games go a long way. He may be looking at this might be the last time I have this potential opportunity. And he just may play balls to the wall, for lack of a better term. So with that said, I picked the 49ers.
Really?
What?
You
heard me
said
all this? Yeah.
Huh?
Who did you pick?
I picked the Packers. I know I said the 49ers. Glad you guys are paying attention.
That was confusing.
Yeah.
So I picked the Packers. I was just.
All right, Timmy, talk to us.
Straight face.
He did because he didn't realize he said it.
No, I do realize I said it. I said it for complete purpose. No, really, it was on purpose.
All right, Tim.
Sometime.
By the way, I just got a text from this guy.
Ryan Hum sucks.
And we don't care what he says, or did he actually say something and tells you like the Mets are the best team in baseball?
No, he sent me the picture of the breaking news, and then he put like laughing emojis.
I wouldn't laugh too hard because your team is the Eagles, and what do you have? Wentz? Triple Bentley Wentz?
Yeah, and
Super Bowl?
as our buddy Timmy pointed out in the group today, he's got less touchdown passes than Derrick Henry in the postseason.
In the postseason, they signed the wrong quarterback.
Yeah, they did.
That's like you ever see,
I think they should straight up Wentz and kept the jackass they sent to whatever.
You ever seen Walk Hard?
I think the Eagles
Walk Hard. Yeah, I've seen that.
When the Eagles won the Super Bowl, I'm not saying that they didn't win it and they didn't earn it, but to me, it was a fluke and it's never happening again. And it's evident because they've just trashed. They're garbage. They're nothing. They're sugar pop. I hate them. The Eagles suck.
Ryan Hum sucks.
I hate you, Wentz. I hate you, Eagles. I hate you, Brian Hom. You suck.
So you saw that movie Walk Hard, right? So every time Carson Wentz would throw an interception, I would always say, "Wrong kid died," because they signed the wrong quarterback at the end of the season. Wrong kid died.
Wentz, to me, is as good as this guy in the Titans. Because if you put him in the right system, he'll do something. But he's on the Eagles. The Eagles will never have the right system. The Eagles won the Super Bowl because everything in the universe kind of clashed together, and it was a fluke, and it's never going to happen again. It's a once in a 1,000-year thing. It will never happen again. You guys are garbage. You suck. You're nothing. Philadelphia, nothing. Sorry, did I get mad?
No, you're good. That's the way we like you, brother. All right, Tim, talk 49ers and the Packers.
I agree with everything Keith said. I am going with Packers. And I know you guys said about the 40. You said about the 49ers that they're like that no-name team. I see the Packers kind of the same way. And I compare them to, again, I'm not comparing Eli to Aaron. I'm not comparing. Yeah. I'm just saying they remind me of that Giants team that, even though they were the number 1 seed or whatever, first round bye, the Giants weren't.
11.
They were that team that made the playoffs. They're that team with that no name. I mean, Aaron, of course, Rodgers is their superstar. Everyone else is just a really good player, and they're a very good team. They're very well coached. They play for each other, and that's why I'm taking them to win.
Okay, yeah, all very well said. And now I'm gonna come in and bust up the party. All right, so look, I just think that the 49ers are the better overall team. They mix and match on these packages, and I know Aaron Rodgers are very smart. There you go. Yes. No. I spit on your shoes.
I got a 49er.
I was going to show him my nose and then blow him out, but I was like, that's too much for the video.
So I know that Rodgers is a very intelligent quarterback, one of the best ever. And he's not going to have this type of game again. But in the first meeting, well, the only meeting in the regular season, he threw for 104 yards on 33 pass attempts. The 49ers, their offense, their defense is just like spectacular. And Aaron Jones was held under 40 yards. Jamal Williams just over 40 yards. And again, I'm not saying that this is exactly this is going to happen again. But I just feel that the 49ers have too many solid weapons on both sides of the ball, and I don't think Green Bay has those type of weapons on the defensive end or the weapons on the offensive end to combat what the 49ers bring at you from a defense standpoint.
How's your breath taste? Tastes like ass? You just a lot of 49ers today.
Well, I have you on air. I'll do some chopping that you pick the 49ers. Yes. So look, I want to do a fun little thing here, and so,
argue for one team and then pick the other at the end of the argument.
All right. So
the 49ers are a freaking great team. It's true. I just think that the hunger and experience is what's going to push it. But
and remember, the 49ers picked second last year in the draft. Second. Yeah. And what did they draft? A pass rusher. And now they're on the NFC Championship.
Yep.
You hear that, Giants? You hear that, Yellowman? You and your stupid face? Stupid accent?
Our drop in the pick, there's still some pass rushers left. I do not want the other guy, what's his name? Judy.
I don't want a wide receiver, that's for damn sure.
No.
I want a wide receiver. We need a stud pass rusher.
I feel like if there was ever a time that the Giants were going to do it, this is the year to move up.
If we have right.
That's not Hundley? Nice.
See what I stumble upon in my drawer? Get that damn Todd Hundley out of my drawer.
I was at the game when the ball hit him in the head, if it helps you out at all. But so we are kind of split a little bit here as far as what did Rodriguez pick? Did he send his picks in?
I didn't see him send it in, but I know for a fact. I mean, he's a 49er guy. If it's not the Giants, so I know that he'll go with the 49er. He probably went. If I had to take a guess about Rodriguez, our buddy that we know well, best ever, it would be the 49ers and the Chiefs.
I do know that Rodriguez did give one message for all you Giants fans out there, and it was the Cowboys.
Yeah. All right, look, I want to do a little fun thing here and run through rapid fire. Get this here. Some of the. Hold on 1 second. Let me get to where I need to get to, and then ask away. Jeez, there's so many of these.
Can you see my X-wing?
What badass!
It's my X-wing.
Better than the Batwing. What do you think of Mandalorian Did you? I'm sure you finished it.
Oh yeah. Oh, I loved it.
I thought it was freaking.
I can't wait for season 2.
Jon Favreau is so good, man. Did you start watching the new season of the Clone Wars?
No, it's not on yet, is it?
I thought it came out already.
I don't think so. I would have heard about that. I have like 70 Facebook pages of Star Wars shit that I get all my news from. I'm sure I would have heard about it.
Yeah. When is the Obi-Wan?
How'd that Star Wars marathon work out?
I want to see the What's that?
Well, I asked Rachi how that Star Wars marathon work out that he was supposed to do before Christmas.
We'll just ignore him because he's not an obedient fan. When's that Obi-Wan show coming out?
I think they're having production problems right now. They said it may be next year.
What is happening right now?
Sorry.
What? No, I wasn't even talking about you. Look at Keith. Oh, look at this. Whoa.
Oh my God. Yo. Where'd you get that, bro? Is that purple?
The Forza FX one, the old one. They used to sell in the stores and shit.
You saw my purple one on the show the other week, right? I'm putting the book.
Yeah.
It's so bad, dude.
All right, I can't find what I was gonna do, but we could do a couple of them. And
Star Wars lightsaber talk. That's the whole lightsaber experience at Walt Disney Hollywood Studios in Orlando.
Free plug.
Yeah, right. Don't mention things we're not getting paid for, right?
Don't talk. You haven't watched it. It's him.
All right. So, most passing yards this weekend. Who's it going to be?
Mahomes.
That's going to be Mahomes.
All right. Most rushing yards.
Woo.
Derrick Henry.
Yeah.
I'll go with Henry too.
He's the first player in the history of NFL to have 180 yards in 3 straight games. Can he make it?
I almost said Mahomes again, but he hasn't been playing since he got hurt. He hasn't been playing that much. I'll go with Henry.
Okay.
I would say Henry too. As that makes for an interesting AFC game, doesn't it?
Yeah, for sure. All right. What about receiving yards?
Oh.
What's his name?
I'm going Kelsey.
Adams.
I'm going with Kelsey.
Devontae Adams.
I'm really conflicted. I don't know. Come to the head, back to the wall. I'll go Adams. I mean that's a tough one.
This actually came up on a betting website. Will Antonio Brown get arrested in 2020?
Yes.
Gotta go affirmative.
What are the odds?
I haven't seen the odds.
I don't care what the odds are.
Those odds plus a bag of dicks that he does.
that dude is crazy.
I was watching it live while it was happening.
When your scumbag agent dumps you, you got a real problem.
Yep.
I'm not going to get too far into this because that's a whole other subject. We can have a show on it.
Yeah,
I don't know if you all seen the Aaron Hernandez show.
I watched it.
Would like to see a brain scan of this guy before I start.
Yeah.
Negatively criticizing him.
Yeah, yeah.
I got news for you. I watched it, and I followed that story because I'm fascinated by that story. He was doing stuff when he was 17, 16 that questioned his. It had nothing to do with CTE or football. Let's put it that way.
Well, right. I think the CTE pushed out things that were suppressed, but I think that the CTE is a primary factor in the ultimate over-the-line murder. I'm not saying it's not who he was.
This special reveals.
Never heard anybody.
Right, you should watch it. Watch it because it reveals.
I watch it all.
Before the double shooting, the double murder, which I don't care what anyone says, he did. He shot at 2 other people as a kid, as like a 17, 18-year-old when he was in Florida. He just bucked shots at them too. Got away with it because he was in Florida.
Yep.
And
but
his
also
childhood friend
when he was
came
in
out.
Florida,
Yeah, his childhood friend came out and said he was definitely gay. Definitely gay. And he could not reveal
you got
himself
a lot
because
of
of his father.
suppressed anger, you got a lot of suppressed abuse, and then when you mix that with brain damage that was, building through the years, because remember that doctor said he was 24, right? And the doctor said this could have been building for the last 10 years. You got a lot of brain damage that was built for the years. I'm not saying that he was a good person. I'm saying that what was suppressed was no longer suppressed because of the brain damage. He was unable to decipher his thought process from,
Did
right
you watch
from
the
wrong.
whole thing? Did you watch the whole special?
Yeah, I did.
I haven't. I'm about halfway through the first episode.
See, to me, it revealed the opposite to me. To me, it revealed that once his father died, he went off and did whatever he wanted, whenever he wanted, how he wanted, and he just became like the ultimate thug. I mean, I'm not saying that the brain damage wasn't bad; it wasn't affecting him in any way. But
And you could be
I just
right.
think he was a bad dude.
I think it was who he was deep down, and I think the CTE broke the filter between right and wrong.
Yeah, maybe possible.
If I go to finish the show this weekend, I also have a review that I have to do, and so if I watch these two documentaries, I think I got to split it up. It's gonna be a depressing weekend, so it's heavy. It's that, and then it's there's a documentary on the Parkland shootings that's coming out, and I need to have a review up on the site on cinesportstalk.com. G-plug. By Monday. No, it's a link that they sent to me. It's going to come out in select theaters, but it's not it's a link. They send you out links to review sometimes from home, and it's like a big watermark and stuff. But I'll let you know how that is. But maybe we can get together one day and do a little 30-minute show on the documentary itself.
I would. I'm fascinated by that shit.
Yeah, let's do it. All right. Well, the Aaron Hernandez discussion was brought to you by Brooklyn Water Coffee Roasters. Keith, take it away.
It's a killer coffee.
Your front door. You can try all the delicious flavors from dark roast, dark chocolate, and it is a full flavor chocolate coffee without the guilt. It has a total of, how many calories?
Settle.
Boom. You can also try the other flavors. Me personally, I like the more caffeine, the better. I'm like Antonio Brown. Give me all the freaking caffeine and cocaine I can take. Jacked Up Cupcake is one of the lines that they have, part of their high energy line. 50% more caffeine. You could try Cinnabuzz. There's a ton of flavors out there that are really good. If it's still available, I recommend trying Winter Wonderland. I still have some left in my cabinet, not much, but I'm savoring it because it's really good. It's seasonal. It's amazing. However, if you act now, you can get one bag free if you buy 2 bags using the code. What's the code?
Hot stove.
Hot stove. I was going to say hot motherfucking stove, but it's just hot stove. You can use it with all capitals. Hot stove. HOTSTOVE. You buy 2 bags, you get the third one free, which allows you the opportunity to buy 3 different flavors. And I can guarantee you, any flavor you buy, you will not be disappointed. Check them out now. BrooklynWaterCoffeeRoasters.com. From their roastery to your front door. All orders are guaranteed to ship within 24 hours of its roast date. Hot stove is the promo code to use. Peace. Not really leaving, but like peace to this everything.
That was so well done.
Very good.
We got to do all the clapping on the clapper episode.
Peterson,
It's so
co-founder
good,
of
kill your friend.
Talk.com.
All right, so you guys picked the Chiefs and the Packers to go to the Super Bowl. I picked the Titans and the 49ers. I went complete opposite of you guys. Let's see how that works out. We had breaking news today. Giants hire Jason Garrett as the offensive coordinator. Happy, sad, doesn't matter. It's done. Giants now have their coaching staff pretty much in place. with Joe Judge in as the head coach, Patrick Graham in as defensive coordinator, and Jason Garrett as the offensive coordinator.
Clap on. That's it.
Clap on. Clap on. Clap off.
All right, that'll about do it for us here. Keith, do you have any closing words of inspiration?
I just want to say, as a straight man, that if I was not straight, I would love both of you way beyond appropriate. How about you guys?
Tim, any hot takes? Because that was a hot take.
What do you say after that? Keith, I do love you inappropriately because I've known you for so long. Franchi, I'm getting to love you. I'm getting to love you. I've known forever, so yeah, I do love you, buddy.
Feeling it there.
I love you, bro. I've known Tim since I was his sperm.
Hey, Keith.
Yeah, babe. I mean, what's
Keith's
done?
Bucket of the week.
Oh, we need a fuckata.
Let's do this ad lib. We're gonna do a quick fuckata right now. If we're gonna fuckata somebody, it's gonna be the Cowboys. You just lost your coach, Biatches. You don't even know what you're doing. You got like third year, fourth year. How long they got their running back now? I don't care. Your running back is getting run down. Your quarterback sucked, and Tony Romo is now a commentator, and he's taking over the Booger Boy. So I wish all of you boogers, fuckata Cowboys, suck forever. And that's what I have to say.
Tony Romo, the $14 million commentator.
Booger Boy. Hey, and you know what? I just want to say that Booger, my boy Booger, he broke news that if you score more touchdowns and points than the other team, you will actually win the game.
There's not been anything more insightful said on the show than what you just said right now.
Nope.
And it came from Booger's mouth. And put his mouth to your ears.
Guy's a genius.
All right, look, guys, let's go Titans. Let's go 49ers. 49ers, Titans, Super Bowl. We will talk to you guys. We're going to do a show next week? Yeah, let's do a show next week. Talk about the games, and we'll do a little Super Bowl preview.
I would say go
Bowl preview.
I want you're my fan, bro. We got to go home. Come on.
Let's go Chiefs.
I guess. But I'm going to put the money on Titans. Hey, I'm gonna use the points. So the Titans, Titans could win beat the spread, but the Chiefs win the game.
It's a win-win.
Right, Keithy?
Win-win.
Win-win. All right, guys.
Let's go Giants. Screw everybody and their mothers and their sisters, uncles, and sisters' asses.
All right. On that note, we'll talk to you guys next week. Keep up with us on social media.
It's social media time.
All right. Social media. You can watch us right in the group that you're watching us in right now, which is the We Stomped You Out show by Cine Sports Talk. And then cinesportstalk.com for all your sports, movies, needs. A lot of different giveaways up on the site. I think we're going to do another one or two. What is the name of the movie? Birds of Prey. Birds of Prey is going to be our next giveaway. I want to say it's going to be Tuesday the 5th is when the screening is. So again, for the best way to find out when those screenings are going to get posted is to go and subscribe to our YouTube channel at Cine Sports Talk, and you might be watching there right now as well. All right, so for my two favorite gentlemen of the hour and myself, we will talk to you guys next week. Later.
We stomp you out!
Don't mute my mic. Stop it.